Agashe.
아저씨 이게 뭐야? Hello everybody, Agashe here. So today I'm going to be doing a K-drama review on the drama called VIP, and I've only got a chance to watch the first 2 episodes, which also equals to 4 because there is 2 episodes back to back. So this drama airs Monday to Tuesday, and I think it's like a total of 16 episodes in total, but if it's like back to back, I think it's 32. So I'm gonna go over some cast with you guys, the synopsis, and the review of the first 2 episodes. So as for the cast, we have Jang Nara playing Nan Jang-sung, and then we have Lee Sang-yoon playing Park Sang-jung, and then there's the VIP team, which is played by Lee Chung-ang as Lee Hyung-an, and then we have Hwak Sung-young as Song Mina, and then we have Pyo Yi-jae as On Yuri, and then we have Shin Jae-ha as Ma Sang-woo. And then there's the Nebula team department, which I don't know if that came up in the first episodes yet, but I'm gonna go over them. And then there's the it plays by Jung Joo-won as Chang Jin-ho. Hey, they did come up. And then Lee Jae-won as Lee Pyong-hoon, Park Sang-kun as Han Jae-won, and then Jang Hyuk-jin as Pae Do-il, and Cho Sung-yu as Han Young-woo, Lee Ji-hee as Kang Ji-young. So as for the synopsis, VIP is a mysterious drama about the rise of working women who runs into troubles at work and their personal life. Park Sang-jung is the team leader of VIP department store called Sung-eun. And after graduating from a university, Sung-eun enters the company and now has the ability, the opportunity, the ambitions. But his wife, Nan Jang-sung, is a strong woman with a bright personality, but most people are unaware of her struggles. Now for the recap of the episode 1 and 2. So the drama starts us off with Park Sang-jung leaving like a hotel room or kind of like an apartment, and he gets a call and it says on his phone, my other half, my side, you know, my love, my other half, which is his wife, which is Nan Jang-sung. And the scene changes to see Nan Jang-sung. She's actually like feeding a cat, talking about a cat following her, and a little girl appeared, and it's Princess Ari. She's also a cameo in here, and she ends up following Nan Jang-sung, saying that on purpose to, you know, buy her some ice cream. So she does. She gets the little girl some ice creams, and then she gets a call and she leaves right away. She gets to work using a VIP valet service. She heads right inside the building. She is dressed completely different, and she looks like a boss of some kind of company. And then everybody is bowing down to her. She walks aside, hands over her coat and purse to the other people, ladies in there, sits on a leather couch, asks for a cup of Americano. She sits there, and this fashion show of these trend clothes starts, and several models comes out and dresses from like, you know, highest and latest fashion and everything. She nods to good clothes that she likes. She gives bad comments to the ones she doesn't like, and you know, they go through tons of accessory, clothes, shoes, everything. And then she finally tries on a blazer, and it is apparently too small for her, and the lady said that they'll give her a bigger size. These brand usually runs in a smaller size than actual size they have, and so she gets upset. She takes off the coat and she sits, and then they try to go and give her a bigger size, and she said that she'll wear the size extra small because it usually fits her. And so you know, she's giving the ladies hard time and attitude and everything. And then the lady that was there, she whines, she sit down, stating that Jang-sung is too complicated. And we find out it is just Jang-sung helping them, preparing for a VIP guest client that is going to come and who also has that attitude or something like that. So we find out that they pretty much, VIP go shopping, VIP people go shopping, and they bring in those attitudes and stuff like that. And Nan Jang-sung helps her team, her people, and everything like that get the idea of how to handle situation. Now we move on to seeing Lee Hyuna. She's getting dressed and she leaves the hotel room and she sees a man who is Chun Jin-ho, who's trying to hit on her, and he's also from another department. She rejects him. She walks into the street going on her way to work. She gets a call. She puts a smile on and she answers it. So you're kind of like, ooh, who called her, And then moving on to Song Min-na. She's rushing, getting dressed, buttoning up her shirt as she's attending a mommy's meeting for her son classmates. So like her son's classmate, the moms, they get together and they do meetings and they hold events and everything like that. But she's too busy to participate in the event because she's a working mom. So her husband's more a stay-home husband and she works. And so her husband is at home trying to calm down their kids, and their two sons are getting into a fight. She gives them a call. She calms the sons down, and then she goes back to a meeting, but she gets a call and she rushes to work. Now we go to Sung Ang department. Everybody is scrambling to get a particular pair of heels because one of their VIP clients requests for it, and there is not a single one in stock in Korea yet. Therefore, Park Sung-jung appears and he gives them tasks to do their best to get this particular type of heel for their VIP client. The three ladies are working hard trying to get it, and we get to see Mang Sang-woo, who is struggling as Park Sung-jung yells at him and tells him to do his job properly and don't complain and slow them down because they cannot do that to their VIP guests. Now, we see Nan Jang-sung ends up at the prison meeting their VIP guest or client, and she gives her different options of the shoes because they can't get the specific one she wants. The VIP client rejects, saying she wants that particular heels when she comes out of jail. Meanwhile, Song Min-na gets a hold of the pair that is coming from Japan. They are happy they finally got it, so they're kind of like relaxed and everything, And then once the heel arrived at the airport, it is stuck in customs because it has sights on there, and so now they need documents to get approval to get the heel. We get to see Nan Jang-sung being extremely hardworking person. She can drive her motorcycle. She drove in the rain, delivered the documents to the airport, hands it to her husband Park Sang-jung, and he goes to the airport custom and gets the shoes. And the moment they get the shoe, they find out the VIP client is dead. They attend her funeral and they meet the vice president of the company there and all this stuff like that. Next, moving on, after a long day of hardworking, Nan Jang-sung and Park Sang-jung comes home exhausted and asleep. But when they're asleep, Park Sang-jung's phone goes off and he receives a text message saying, "I miss you." Yep, he's having an affair. And so the next day at work, they get this new girl who joins the team, which is Ong Yuri, and she is a simple plain girl. They get a VIP guest who comes in and ends up taking Yuri shopping with her as a personal shopper, and she ends up buying Yuri gifts and tell her she needs to dress up. Even if she finds it that these expensive stuff are not needed, she's gonna have to need it for other people to look at her like decently, because she doesn't look decent in other people's eyes, even though she is to herself. Then we get to see her like that, and then Sung-woo ends up reading some rumors, finding out that Yuri has something to do with the vice president of Sung-eun department store. They don't know if it's true, but when we get to see, after the rumors, we get to see a scene where she enters the elevator and it opens up and the vice president is in there with Park Sang-jung, and she hesitates to go in, but the vice president welcomes her to take the elevator with them. So you're kind of like, ooh, she knows them or something like that, kind of like, wow, what's going on, So moving on, we get to see, Nan Jang-sung being hardworking at work, also a loving wife. She cooks a wonderful meal, waiting for her husband. She buys new lingerie, and obviously she's trying to get pregnant. But her husband doesn't come home. He is late at the office as everyone has gone home, and someone comes in and he closes the blind to his office. But there's also someone at the door who sees that he's having an affair. So during this scene, all the women has left already. So they have like this office where he sits in the windows, he sits in the other side, and all three women sits there, and Yuri and Sangwoo sits across from each other. So the day has ended and they all left. Jung-sung went shopping and went home, while the other three women, they were supposed to go home, but they stopped and turned back to the company. So now we don't know who it is, these three women, who returned to the company, who is the one who witnessed this, who is the one who had an affair with him, or what's going on. We have no idea, you know. And moving on, it's late and Park Sun-jung finally comes home. He goes to bed, and you know, as Nan Jung-sung is going to bed, she hears a ring. She checks her phone, and it's text message saying your husband is having an affair with someone in your department. So she panics. It's a blocked number. She's wondering who sent it. She tries to go through her husband's phone, but finds out he has a passcode locking his phone. So the next morning, she asks him for it. He tells her, but he's kind of hesitating when he told her. And she brings up the past on how he proposed and promised to love her with all his heart. She wonders if his heart is still valid, like he said before, you know, and he kind of nod nervously. And so now she's getting very suspicious about the three women in her team that she doesn't know who it could be. But it continues. She continues working with her team, going on VIP events and stuff like that. They split up and they do all these stuff. And she returns home exhausted, you know, and then, excuse me. And then, after the whole day, she returns, she's exhausted. Sung-jung offers to make dinner and his phone goes off. She sees that he gets a call for Chang Jin-ho, the same guy who hit on Hyuna in the beginning, and then she tells him to answer. He looks nervous, he takes the call and leaves the room. That's kind of suspicious there. He does a lot of suspicious stuff. And then the next day, she is making coffee at work and she has a conversation with Sang-woo. Sang-woo points out that Chang Jin-ho is on a business trip in China and Sang-woo got help from someone else in the company. So this makes Jung-sung wonder, why did Chang Jin-ho call her husband so late? So, you know, she's starting to wonder again, suspicious stuff again. So, you know, more of the ladies splitting up to their work, to their VIP events and all these stuff like that. Company gossiping about Yuri and the rumor with her and the vice president of the company. We don't know if it's true yet, you know. And then on to Mina. She talks about having secrets of her own, making Jung-sung wonder, like, what's going on, you know, they get cut off and all this stuff like that. And then moving on, Sung-jung and Jung-sung are having dinner and it didn't turn out well. They get home and Jung-sung suggests they have a talk. They sit across from each other on the dining table and he suddenly gets another call from Chang Ji-ho and she tells him to answer in front of her, and he does take the call, and she ends up taking the call from him, saying she wants to say hi to Chang Jin-ho, and it turns out it was actually Chang Jin-ho. So after the phone conversation, she hangs up and she asks her husband, are you having an affair? And he looks blankly at her, like he's kind of like, he gave that look like he's caught or something like that. That's how I looked at it. And we get to see, like, with her asking the husband, are you having an affair, we get to see these other three ladies having their own little thing on the side. So Mina leaves her family saying that she needs to go to the market, but she ends up at someone else's apartment waiting for someone. While Yuri is, she has a bunch of expensive clothes and accessories that she stored away. She finally gets dressed and goes to a luxury hotel. And then Hyuna, her credit card is frozen, so she ends up at a crappy motel calling and waiting for someone. So we're kind of like, who is these three women, or are these three women waiting for? What's going on, you know? And then back to Jung-sung and Sung-jung, she's still waiting for him to give an answer, but he tells her, but she's like, you know, forget it, it's nothing, you know, I received this text message and it just kind of threw me off, don't worry about it, forget what I said. She leaves, he picks up his phone, he makes a call to Chang Jin-ho, and he says, thank you for covering for me. And he says, "How I regret lying. I don't know. I don't think this is right, but whatever. It's just a request. You asked me to help you, so I helped you lie." So the next day, the vice president is holding a party barbecue event night. That night, they all attend. Everybody is drinking. Sunjung ends up sending Jung-sung home first, and he said he will come immediately after he sends the vice president home. She didn't go home. She stayed in her taxi far away watching, and she sees her husband gets in her taxi, drives off to a hotel, and he texts his wife that he's on his way home, which he's not. She knows because she's following him. So she ends up following him, asking where he's at, and ends up at a hotel. She's inside of the hotel, and she gives him a call. "Where are you at? You say you're on your way home." He says the vice president is really drunk, so I will be home soon. I'm gonna take him home. And she's all like, "Are you really with the vice president?" He says yes. And they see each other at the hotel. They meet in the lobby. She finds out, and she proved it, that he is having an affair. End of the first 2 episodes for us there. So, she now knows that her husband is having an affair. In the preview, he states that he made a mistake, but he doesn't tell her who she is. She's suspicious of all the women and all these stuff like that, Honestly, to me, I think it's so Mina, because we see Yuri when she was all dressed up like that, luxury clothes, into a hotel. She ended up seeing the vice president, So she is having a thing with the vice president. And all this stuff like that. And then Hilna, she just has tons of boyfriends. She goes from one guy to another. But So Mina, she seems more close with Jung-sung. And it looks, because they're both married. Mina has a stay-home husband who works partially, and they have 2 kids, and he is not the best husband. And she sees that, Jung-sung's marriage life is great. She's probably envy of it, that she would want someone like Park Sung-joon as her husband and all stuff like that. And I don't know, that's my guess that it's her. We'll see if I'm correct or not towards the end of the drama or whatsoever. But to be very honest, I was just like, oh my god, watching this, I'm just like, everything is so suspicious. You don't know who it is, but it's like there is someone watching him and all this stuff like that, and tons of things, it's just everybody puts up such a straight face and everything. You don't know who's who or what's going on, and so it's really those dramas of marriage, life, relationship, and how you're gonna work it out, all stuff like that, but yeah, that is the recap of the first 2 episodes. It is a lot of things going on. I'm pretty sure a lot of drama is going to be arising now that she already know. Coming from the first 2 episodes already, she already knows that her husband is having an affair. So obviously, a lot of problems gonna arise, and she's going to choose whether she wants to be with her husband or not. Because in a way, she can't forgive him, but she doesn't want to lose him because she loves him. It's always situations like that. But we will see how it turns out. But FYI, I am just going to be doing beginning reviews of it. If you guys want to know what happens once this drama comes to an end and wants another ending review, let me know in the comments below, and I will go ahead and do that. But don't forget to hit thumbs up and subscribe to see more of this. And that is it, and I will see you guys next time.